A mini. She was the cutest.
Corvette was a mini, and she was the cutest. Yo, what's crack-a-lackin', bro? Welcome, welcome. Harry, I'm sending you a link. I'm sending you a Zoom link. I'm sending it to WhatsApp Messenger. All right.
Yeah, you guys came in the middle of a drought.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we need yeah. Yo, hit me with some also. Like I just
Good.
Yeah. Thanks, Briggs.
This is the.
A little bit.
You guys have more?
Yeah, well, let's okay, so Harry, admit. Okay. So Rabosai, tonight we're learning the Safra Disney. So Harry, you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yo, guys, ready to rig? You guys ready to roll?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So Zakt the Gra in Safra Disneyasa. All right. It says, wait, hold on, is that a cigarette? Usually I don't like cigarettes in the place, but like it's cool. Just like kind of chill on the thing. All right. Oh, I'm about to go out of battery. Ooh, I'm back in. Ooh. All right.
What do you do for facilities?
In the yeshiva, there's a bathroom. Hold up. Because is this thing even charging or at 5%? All right, no move. Harry, I can't see you.
I know. I'll be on in like 30, 40 seconds for the recording for the Facebook. You could start.
Okay.
I'm just finishing up my cleanup process here.
I hear you. Okay, so last time we saw this Perish Agra, he talked about the first 5 words. How the first 5 words of Tana, right? Tana is like it was taught. That's how it says it in the Zohar. It was taught like it's not, but in the Zohar it says Tana, Ta'ana, right? Very archaic Aramaic. It says Safra Ditzniasa, Safra Deshakil B'miskala. So you have 5 words. The hidden book. This is the hidden book of the Zohar, right? And the Gra is going to bring a parish on it. Safra Ditzniasa, right? We got to actually find a way to get this chill outside so that people can smoke and cheer because I also want a cigarette now.
You can.
Dude, I love the idea of an outdoor shear one time. With
yeah, well, we're saying it is a book that is weighed in weight in Moznaim, right? Okay, so we said that 5. The reason that there's 5 letters in this introduction is because it's like it's Keneged the Chamisha Chumshei Torah. Okay, Chamisha Chumshei Torah. Everyone's like, okay, we can hear that. Keneged Hey Partzufim Shekolim Kol Atzilos. Where we went into that last time, we're just gonna say, okay, with the Partzufim. Hey Olamos Shekolim Kol Olamos. Really, he spells it backwards. It's really weird because he goes Atzilus, Bria, Yitzira, Asiya, and then Adam Kadmon, which is above them all. So he doesn't tell us them in order. I would think that he would say, I think this is a misprint or something, and it would say Ayin, Yud, Beis, Aleph, and then in increasing order. Okay. And then you have the Dalet Osios of Havaya, the 4 letters of Shem Hashem, with the Kutzo Shel Yud. That was the introduction. Now we're going to write that those are the 5 letters that reference those ideas of the 5, right? Now, what 5s do we have in our lives now? What 5 do we have in our lives now? We have the 5 books of the Torah. We got the 4 of the mothers, 3 of the fathers, and if you add 3 of the fathers and 2 of the luchos, that Moshe broke.
5. I don't know what's a 5. Keter, something about Keter?
Well, Keter is 10. I was
No, but like
thinking.
you get to like the halfway point and it like double activates.
I'm not familiar with any double activation, but
I was just testing you, see what you got. Yeah, keep going.
couldn't see your face, so I don't know if you're being
I know
serious.
the emotions. All right, I'm almost finished. Yeah, keep
Okay,
going.
it's totally chill. So we have 5G. 5G.
I love
going
it.
up
Nice
everywhere.
gusto.
Listen, I don't know. All I'm saying is that we have all these fives and then we have 5G. Right? Okay.
Amazing.
Sefer. Okay, so now we're gonna learn the first word. Safra. Sefer Geulas Machshava. Boom. We start talking about Geulas Machshava, which is Geulas of Chachma, maybe a Geulas of Chachma. A book. A person goes and writes a book. What's he doing? He's being megale his machshava. He's letting us know what is going on in his mind. You know, he's telling us what he's thinking about. Shamachshava usasum be'adam, because a person's thoughts are like stuck in his brain. You know, the eno misgale ella al yedei diburo o kasavo, and it's not revealed except through his speech or his ksav, or his like writing, right? V'chein ein sof nisgale ubara es haolam legiluyav uleishtamuda le. Kemoshe Kazav B'Zohar. Anyone want to try to type that while I take a drag on this jiggity?
Say it again.
I said, anyone want to type that?
No, say the pasuk again.
Rega, Harry, do you have the lyrics?
No, I don't have it up yet.
Let me send that to you post haste.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my camera's not working, so I'm trying to open up my phone right now.
I'm sending it copy. I'm sending it to the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, and I can't even paste it. Paste. Oh, it's not even letting me paste. Okay, I'm sending it to you on Facebook. But no, I can't find Facebook. Oh, I love this. I'm so good at computers.
We're here to build up our tolerance of patience.
Yeah. Listen, we're steiging, that's for sure.
So let me in on the waiting room on my phone now. I applied.
Admit. Oh, the man is here. What's up, Higgs?
Shalom, Rebbetzin. Handsome Rebbetzin.
All right. So I sent to your Facebook. I couldn't send it. Copy. Let me try it here. I can't.
I got it. I'll just copy this to a Word document. I'm fine.
Okay, perfect. So a sefer, a person writes a book, right? He's telling you what's like in his mind. It's because it happens with a book and it happens with speaking, right? That's why a person can express himself. Says the Gra that the fact that they use the word Safra, the fact they use the word sefer, the Zohar is not talking about an actual book. What's the Zohar talking about? This is why the Zohar is almost impossible to learn. The Zohar is not talking about a book. What's the Zohar talking about?
When it says safer?
The Zohar, when the Zohar says sefer, I believe it's talking about the process, the process that writing a sefer has on the person and on the world, and how that is reminiscent to what's going on in the Olamos HaElyonim. All of this, the Gra saying is hidden in the word sefer, Safra. He says, "B'chein ein sof nisgale v'bara es ha'olam." So too, writing the book, making the world, was God's way of being misgale, of revealing Himself and creating the world. The book, the world is God's book, or in now thing it's God's Netflix series.
I love it. So we're experiencing God's safer right now. You're saying?
Yeah, we're experiencing God's sefer. Experiencing God's Safra, yeah.
That's epic.
Yeah, yo, check out the Talmidim, the Heilige Chevra Kedisha. Some of us are out of sig.
You're talking about the Zohar and stuff. But when you say Shema, just the word, it'd be like following Hashem's commandments.
Bro, Shema, the secret of Shema, Hashem Echad,
Yeah.
is the biggest secret of the Zohar. The most bevast pasuk in all of Torah is telling us the deepest secrets of the Zohar. The Zohar explains what that means, what it means that Hashem Echad. It says Hashem Echad. Now the Zohar is explaining why Hashem created the world. 2 reasons. I underline them, right? Legiluyav uleishtamuda le, to reveal himself and to be known. To be known. Leishtamuda. That's a very it's an archaic. Where's the leg?
Yeah, I would never be able to dig this without you. This is crazy.
Bro. Yeah, listen, man. I would never be able to do a lot of things without you. And this is a great tzushtel, and we're making Baruch Hashem, an amazing yeshiva and doing great things, you know? We're really staggering out one. Oh, it's broken. Yo, come through. So yeah, we're doing amazing things. Baruch Hashem, Geulas Shaul. And yo, check this out here. I don't know if I showed you this. It's a painting that I'm in the middle of. It's like a Geulas Shaul. And look, there's that's Corbanet.
Who did that?
I did. And that's Ichimai.
Well, you know how to draw goats like that?
You know, I like rapping better, but
Dude, you're an artist.
nothing.
Oh my gosh.
So God created the world for 2 reasons on both sides. What are they? Is to Ligiluyav, to reveal himself, but to be known. To be known. They use this is an Aramaic binyan, itpa'el. Very rare. Itpa'el leishtamuda, with that shin. What is that shin doing? Why is there a shin there? Because you can't have the binyan of, you can't have that binyan without a shin. It's I'm not getting into it. It's but it's leishtamuda le, is to be known, and to be that we know him, and that we know really. It's using a reflexive thing. Lehitla beish is to dress yourself. Leishtamuda le is to know himself. This world, Zaktigra, God created the world as an action of getting to know himself. What does that mean, that God is getting to know himself? Becoming self-aware.
I mean, are we a chelek Elokai mimal? Are we an actually piece of Hashem?
Oh, that.
And we speak about Hashem as something not us.
That's the mahalach. That's the mahalach, Harry. But what's the name again? Chesky. Remind me the name. I'm not good at names. The rule is until Adar. It's that's the rule. That's my rule with my Talmud. Until Adar, it's not awkward if I don't remember your names. we have Chigri Chesk, and we have who? Akiva. Nice. Rabbi Akiva did amazing things with teaching Torah when the world was on lockdown, right?
Yeah,
and they said,
why they opened it up.
They said, "How are you teaching Torah?" You know. Yeah. And what did Rabbi Akiva say? He said, "How are you teaching Torah? You're risking your life. It's crazy. Now you're teaching Torah right now." What did Rabbi Akiva say? He said, "Listen, if I go out of the water, I'm going to die for sure. If I'm not teaching Torah, I have no life at all." At least here, there's a suffix. There's Ashrecha Rabbi Akiva shenitpas al divrei Torah. That was his downfall. People, sometimes we're going to have downfalls. You know, we're going to do our best, but sometimes we're going to fall. And again and again and again. It takes 7 falls for a tzaddik. Sheva yipol tzaddik v'kam. We're going to have those falls. Right? Ashrecha Rabbi Akiva, that his fall was doing what he believed in. Shenafalta al divrei Torah. Yeah, he went through tough stuff. You can't escape it. But he wasn't like bugging out about like some random thing. You know, he was nitpas and divrei Torah, right? And so that's Rabbi Akiva. So we're glad to have a Rabbi Akiva and a Chezkiah. Bikesh Hakadosh Baruch Hu, the Gemara says, Lasos Chezkiyahu Mashiach b'Sancherev Gog uMagog. He says he's going to make Chezkiyahu Mashiach, and he's going to make Sancherev Gog uMagog. Except what? Chezkiyahu didn't say Shira. He didn't sing. Reb Chezki, never forget to sing. Never forget to sing. Am Yisrael needs your song.
Beautiful.
So so he says those are like it says in the Zohar in the Tikkunim of Shin Mem Pei Vav, right, which is a very weird number. Why would they say Shin Mem Pei Vav? Why would they say shampoo and not Tuf Chaf Vav, right? Which would be the same math. Tuf Chaf Vav. We're talking about 426. Great number, by the way, 426. Anyways, Gam Kain, the Gra is like referencing, like, yo, you should wear shampoo. Gam Kain al yedei shnei devarim elu. So the Gemara, the Zohar says that Kamosha Gasav b'Sefer Yetzirah, like it says in Sefer Yetzirah. Now, who knows Sefer Yetzirah? You guys know Sefer Yetzirah? Yeah, you've heard of it. And what about you?
I love it.
What about you?
Teach me.
Teach me. You to teach me. All this learning here is by you. So Nicki Minaj line that was like, shtel de vek for the thing. Anyways, Rabozai, Sefer Yetzirah is pseudoepigraphically attributed to Abraham Avinu, right? They say Abraham Avinu bichvodo va'atzmai wrote this book, right? It says and it says in this book that God created the world with a sefer, and a sipor. A book, and a story. A book, and a story. Can you envision right now? A book, and a story. And
or maybe a book and a book and a story. Maybe like one's a book and the other one's a book and a story together.
It says a sefer, and a sipor. By the way, pseudo-epigraphically means that we don't really think that Abraham Avinu, the scholars at least, don't really think that Abraham Avinu was the one who wrote the book. It was just attributed it to him. And they also say that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai didn't write the Zayar. You know those Naskilim that say that?
Yeah, they just say it was oral until it was
redacted by that's the answer. Exactly, Harry. That it could be that Avraham Avinu he started this oral tradition. Oh, it got written down later. Oh, it has references to later words that didn't exist in the time and the language that Abraham spoke. Concepts didn't exist at that time. So they say, oh, couldn't have been Abraham. We say, listen, for some reason this was attributed to Abraham. There's something deep connecting Avraham Avinu and that idea of a book, and a story, and also their whole book. So the whole Sefer Yetzirah. So he said, the Indian of those two books and the story, hu ki b'dibur b'pam achaz nisgale machshavaso. Oh, beautiful. A story, right? We said there's two ways a person can express themselves, right? Either by writing a book or by telling a story by speech, right? Rabosai, that's very geschmack, because he's saying that what he was talking about, that's when it says in Safra that Safra is making a reference to that book of Avraham Avinu, and so it was created by first when a person reveals his thoughts, פעם אחת נסגר המחשבה הזו, אבל בספר רבייז פעמים. When you write a book, when you say it out, it happens once. But when you write a book, it happens twice. Why is that, Rabbi Harry?
Probably because you're writing it down, so you're experiencing the story, and there's someone reading it, and he's experiencing the story.
I think that's pshat. That's my word also. You hear that? You hear that pshat? All right. So echad kishekosev, one when he writes it down, v'nizgala machshavaso be'olam, and his right, but avadayin satum b'sefer, but it's still stuck in a book. V'sheni kishekorim b'sefer az nizgala, that a person has to read. When I'm telling you a story, it's happening. When I'm telling you a story,
Keep going.
when I'm telling you a story, it's happening, right? When I'm telling you guys a story, like when I speak, you hear it. It happens in one motion, right? I'm talking, you're internalizing. But when a person is writing a book, so it's two actions, right? First he writes it, and then the person reads it. But speech, it happens all at once. So maybe those are two ways that the creation of the world could happen. These are two different paths. One is just to make God, to make himself known to the world, or to reveal himself, but it's to know himself. That creation is an act of God knowing himself. Le'ishtamuda le. That's pshat in le'ishtamuda. And so, as Rabbi Harry said, like we're chelik Eloha, and so us becoming self-aware, us understanding our soul, our nefesh ruach neshama chai yechida. By the way, also, Rabbi Harry, also
5.
Also 5, nefesh ruach neshama chai yechida.
Okay, right. That's a 5.
Right. So when we get that getting to
That's what I was
self-awareness,
talking about. Isn't that the halfway mark, maybe? Or no? There's no halfway with that.
no, it's a different thing. So
Right.
the spheros are explaining what the world is, and you count it, right? Keser chachma bina, keser gevurah tiferes netzach hod yesod malchus, and you count it from the top down. But this is Rabbi Brownstein's pshat. But by the nefesh ruach neshama chai yechidah, we count up because we got to climb it. You know, that's from our perspective of knowing what God is, because the yechidah is really just that everyone is chelik Eloah. That's Spinozian pantheism and Cookian pantheism. So that's what the Gra is saying. Now he's gonna go, and he's gonna start talking a little bit deeper with us, right? He says, Vehem Chabad, and that is Chabad. Chachma bin Adas, Kemoshe Gaza B'Sefer.
From Mishlei.
What?
Also from Mishlei, I think we call it.
Well, it says, Kemoshe Gaza B'Sefer Yitzira, Shebehem Nivra Olam. Kemoshe Gaza B'Mishlei, very good, Har. Hashem B'Chachma Yasar Aretz.
Because all 3 words are in that pasuk.
B'Dado Tehomot Nikva'o. So this pasuk in Mishlei says Hashem bechachma yasar aretz, right? And then konen shamayim b'sivuna. What's sivuna, Harry?
Tavuna, like understanding?
Yeah, but what sphere is it?
Tavuna?
Well, what
is that Bina?
Sivuna is not a sphere. What sphere is it?
Bina over there?
Bina, exactly. Bina. And then, right, because he says, like, it's Chabad. Like it says in Sefer Yetzirah, that the world was created with Chachma Bina Das. But also, it says, Hashem b'Chachma Yasar Aretz, Konen Shemayim b'Sivuna. So the Aretz was with Chachma. The Bina was Shemayim. And the Daito Tehomot Nikbo, and the Tehomot. What does the Tehomot, Rabbo, say?
Wasn't Tehom like the emptiness?
Yeah, like it's behind. What? What's up?
No idea.
No clue. Tehom, yeah, like it's like the void. right? Vehein reishes hagiloi shel hamachshava, and they are the beginning of the giloi of the machshava of the. Oh. I thought it was a bug. It was just a charger. Right. Vehein reishes. It's a phenomenon known as formication. When you imagine that you have bugs or ants crawling on you, it's called formication with an M.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, just a little bit of a linguistic tangent, you know. All right, the hein reishis hagiloi shamachshava sesima shehu kol she'ein misgala klal. It's chav ayin she'ein misgala klal afilu mitziyuz v'lachein nikra ayin. Okay, so this is the beginning of the Gilui, when God first created the world, right? It was with a part called Machshava Sesima'a, right? Which is like, it's not just Chachma, it's like this hidden Chachma. Shehu Chaf Ayin. Harry, can you look up what the Rosh Table Chaf Ayin are, please?
Fine, yeah.
I think Shehi Chaf Ayin. She'ein Mizgala Klal Afilu Mitziusa V'lachein Nikra Ayin. Yo, Rabbi Yid, Shalom Aleichem. What's Machsta? Baruch Hashem. Yo, we're just walking in on a Safra Disney. So share you're willing to join us? Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Tyler?
What's up, man?
So anyway,
Sitting in chair.
yeah. So anyways, yo, sit in bed if you want, or you can stand, or you can. The truth is, it's more machmir to stand. You look like a frum guy, you should probably stand, because the Torah is nitno be'amida, and I can tell your machmir to learn it be'amida. So you just have yourself a stand. But maybe you can tell us what this chaf ayin is. Shehu b'machshava sesima. Shehu chaf ayin. Harry, what's chaf ayin? She'ein mizgala. Kol olam she'ein mizgala. Klal afilu mitzuyusa. So maybe this is every world. Right, I'm gonna look it up, Harry. This is the.
I have a list here.
Oh yeah. You want to set it?
It says Koach Elyon, Kol Ikar, Kuli
Ooh,
Alma.
Koach Elyon. I like Koach Elyon. This is the Koach Elyon that is not revealed at all in Mitziyut, in reality, and that's why it's called Ayin, right? You know the world was created. Rav Yid, Yesh Mi Ayin. Very good. So the Gra is coming. We're learning about like how the world was created. We're learning Safra Disniyasa. Parish of the Gra on Safra Disniyasa. Now you might know, like Pashut Herenstein, word on the street is he's a Nigla Rebbe and doesn't go around teaching Kabbalah. So what's going on here? What am I walking in on? The reason we are learning this sugya is because it is part of the sugya. We have a Gemara in Sanhedrin of Tzadi Gimel that says that, right, that the day of Shmuel ain't been Olam Hazeh, Nimos Mashiach, Ela Shibud Malchias Bilvad. So we started thinking about, well, what is this Indian of Shibud Malchias? Right, we started talking about it. We started also because you know that the Bar Plukta of Rabbi Yochanan, of Shmuel, was Rabbi Yochanan who says, comes the Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva and brings both days. Comes the Kesev Mishnah and is like, yo, Sarach Ian. Like it's mamish a pella in the Rambam. So people try to answer it. We answered it in Shir that the Rambam is actually paskening the machlokas because he says at the end of Yad HaChazaka, in the last paragraph of Hilchos Melachim, he says that listen, these devarim are susum, eitzah nevim, ein lanu kabbalah, lefichach yesh behem machlokas. So our maskana was that this is taka, the Rambam is paskening the machlokas in these inyanim, right? And but there's another person who's trying to mitayit to steer in the Rambam, and that's the base Aryeh. And the base Aryeh shtel tzuz this Perish Agra in Safra Disniyasa. This Safra Disniyasa means the hidden book. It's the hiddenness of the books. And what book? Oh, the Zohar. The Zohar is already the most hidden book, and it's the most hidden of the most hidden book, the Perish Agra. And we have this chus to be learning this with an anicle of the game. H.
Harry?
Right here.
Rabbi Harry, we're cousins then. Hey.
Oh,
My
dude.
man.
You're also an Anical?
Hallelujah.
Moradek.
Wow. Family reunion up in this Zoom.
I'm
in
a
this.
shternbach, if that helps you.
Oh, shternbach.
Yeah, Moshe Shternbach.
Oh,
Yeah.
Moshe Shternbach. I think I met him
My
once.
uncle.
I think I met him once.
I met him once also.
Nice.
I told him about the lost tribes in Africa.
Nice. I talked to him about like I don't know, probably a guru. No, I did. We didn't get a chance to talk on a guru. I met him before. I started learning the sugya. Anyways, it says that's the koach elyon. It's called ayin, right? So, anyways, so he says al pi this gra, right? The base ayah says al pi the gra. He says that the Rambam is talking about Mashiach ben Yosef, Mashiach ben David. Now, the Rambam.
I didn't fully follow what was the machlokas of the Rambam.
It's a steer in the Rambam. So you have 2 days in the Gemara in Sanhedrin, right? Konavim kulam, right? You have right? Olam haba aylo ras alum zachasala. Day of Rabbi Yechon. Upliga ad Shmuel says the Gemara, right? Upliga. Shmuel says aim ben olam haba yech el shivud malchus bilvad, right? And the Rambam brings them both. The Rambam brings them both.
Why
Like
is that contradicting?
because it says upliga ad Shmuel. So you know that there's a pliga, right? We went through this. Everyone wants to say an elu ve'elu here, but the Gemara tells us explicitly pliga de Shmuel. You know?
So we went over this one, yeah.
Exactly. We went over this. We're in the Safra now. You come to my afternoon share and we can learn Nigla. Right now, we're taking a swim in the Zohar Kadesh, in the parish of the Gra, with 2 of his Einaklach. So it's called Ayin. The Chachma. So when he says Chachma Sisima'a, Rishis Agiloi, we know that's a reference to Keser, right? Like and Chav Ayin, right? Koach Elyon. Maybe he's saying Keser Elyon, because we know from the Ramchal in Maimer the Arimas Yadayit Solaisin in the Ramchal's parish in Maimer Arimas Yadai, right? In Maimer Arimas Yadayit Solaisin that hopefully we'll learn eventually. We know that there are different that there's a way to compartmentalize even Keser, and there are levels in Keser. And just by memory, I haven't learned this in a few years. Just by memory, I know that one of them is Gilgulta, one of them is maybe one of them is Taka Machshava Sesima, and one of them is Botzina de Kordanusa. One of them is Botzina de Kordanusa. But anyways, that's for my share on Parish Arimas Yadayit Solaisin, right? All right. So that was Keser, right? And it's called Ayin. Keser is called Ayin because we have no Hadpas. There's no Metzias in this world. It's the Kutso Shel Yud. It's the geometric shape, which is this dot, the geometric dot, which is merely hypothetical, right? There's no way to represent an actual theoretical dot in the world. Why? Because anything, you can split it up. Oh, it's this many micrometers, right? You can never have a dot. But the theoretical dot, the geometric dot, doesn't have an existence. That's the Kutso Shel Yud. That's the idea of Keser. It cannot be represented physically in this world only through our thoughts. We can understand what it is, but we can never represent it physically in this world. That's Keser. That's ratios.
It'll always be broken down to something like half, like it'll always have a half.
Right, exactly. Like the geometric dot. Right, which the geometric dot cannot exist. Whatever, right? Because nothing, it can't have exactly one like of the unit of height and width and whatever. It can't have exactly one. You could always break it down. The geometric dot, you can conceive of like one point in space. That's Chachma Sesima. It's wisdom, or what happened before the Big Bang might fall in this category. You know, what happened before the Big Bang? A time before time, when the world was created with Bereshis. Bereshis was the 10th, right? It says the world was created by 10 Ma'amarim, and it says, right, there's only 9. The Gemara asked, right? Shternbach, you know this Gemara, right? So it says that there's only 9. The Gemara says, wait a second, Tim, like 9. Hava, whatever 9 is, right? There's only 9 of these times that it says Bayomer Hashem. So and for the Gemara, Brachis Nami Maimari. What's the Nami Maimer of Brachis? Time. That's when time was created. And so we can't even comprehend what was before the Tzimtzum, right? Which is what we're learning about. We're learning about this Tzimtzum in depth right now. And so the first thing was this Machshava Sesima'a. That could be split up, as we saw from the Ramchal. But we can't comprehend it. For us, it's just this geometric dot, right? That has no mamashos. It's the Kutso Shayud. The Chachma sagt the Heilige Gain weiter. Hu ha-sefer ha-chatum she'ein misgala rak mitziyusa below mehusa. Chachma is a hidden book, right? This is not Keser now. This is Chachma. It exists. Oh, this book exists. Oh, but I can't open it. I can't access Chachma, right? Bilachein nikra yesh, and what's that? Shternbach. Yesh, it's yesh me'ayin, yeah, right, yeah. Punkt. As I said before, right? So that's why it's called yesh. The bina who sefer hasheni. Because we knew, right? Safra, and sefer and sipor, right? Which we say, so we say that sefer, and sipor. Okay. So we say the second sefer, because a sefer is something which, it could be, its mitzias could be in the world, but it's still not giving over information unless you have another person, right, taking it in. It has 2 acts. That's why it says there's 2. That's why there's a Chachma is the first book, Bina is the second book. Bina sefer Asheni, Sheim is Gal Adam HaKairei. That is revealed. So because
to the person who's reading it.
Of book. Oh, this is beautiful. So Chachma is like,
and Sipor is, there's really 3 things to a book. It's someone writes it, someone reads it, and then someone reads it out loud and tells it over.
So Sipor is not necessarily a thing of the book, and that's why it has different lashon, because it's another way to be Megali Das.
A story, you read the book out loud.
Tell what's on your mind. It's another way to be Mizgala to a person what you're thinking of, and that is what the Eibishter did with the creation. That the creation is so it's so that you have a sefer that's unreadable. There are things about this world that we can't comprehend. Then there are things about this world that we can comprehend, but we have to put in the effort. That's Bina, right? Bina, who sefer sheni shim is gala adam hakor, that could be read. Vidas, and Das, who hasibor shemotzi umegala lekol. Das is the story that, like, the very action of God expressing himself is already getting to you. That might be, by the way, the stuff that we have created in us. There are certain things that we just know. There are certain things that we know is true. That, like, for example, that the Mets are going to win the World Series in 2020. Right? We know that that's true. That's like a vadai, and also things of not to kill and not to steal, and not to hurt another person. Those are things that like we think that, like, innately, like, we just know that, like, they're not, but maybe not. Maybe there's another category. What do you guys think? Oh, this guy's coming in with preconceived notions without a chaya. You got a chaya? Yeah, it's another sugya in Das, but if you got a chaya, then we can bring it into the sugya, into the base measures. All right, okay, leg. Oh yeah, here it is. So that's Das. Sipor Hamotzi Umegala Lekol. Das is the story that's being told to everyone. Right? So there are 3 types of information in this world, says the Gra. You have the information of Chachma. First you have Keser, Chachma, Sasima. That has absolutely no representation. We can't even imagine what it is. We can talk about it, we can dance around it, but it can't exist in this world. We can theorize it, but it's like a string. But hopefully we'll find the string and come up with a grand unified theory. Shout out to the House of Love, Michael Ridley. We have Chachma. which is things that are in this world are just inscrutable. We can't understand them, you know? Then we have Bina, which is things that we don't understand, right? Things that we don't understand. And that's like, that's like another category of things that we could learn. I don't understand like quantum mechanics. Talk to my homie about it, and now I understand a little bit more of quantum mechanics, and I understood before also a lot. But whatever, we stag in here with quantum mechanics. Another shout out to the Hounds of Love. The Adua Kol Asfiros. Oh, and then Das. Right, so that's the Safra and the Safra. There's two Sfarim. Then you have the Sipur, which is Das, which is something that we just know innately. Right? Something that we know innately. What do we know innately? Anyone have any examples of something that we just know?
Fire's hot.
The fire is hot. Moshe. Oh, this guy. Well, Moshe did know that one. This guy's trying to slug you up, telling like a medrash by Moshe. The Moshe didn't know that one, but Rebbe, Moshe did know that one. But the angel was the malach. Yeah, I gotcha. But yeah, it's a good, very yeshivas too. So, the adua kol asfiros nikreim al shem chachma. K'moshe gaza b'tikunei zohar chadash daf ayin gimel amar aleph adam agadol chachma ve'eser chachmos is kariu eser sfiros mi sitrei K'moshe gaza b'tehillim kulam b'chachma asita. Oh, it's kishmak. So the Gra again hits us with that do. And he says, first I'll tell you where it is in Zayar. And if you're like, okay, it's Zayar, I'll tell you a pasuk that says mamish what he says in the Zohar, right? So, and he's saying that all of the spheros are referred to as chachma, right? Kulam b'chachma asisa, and that's a reference to chachma. Remember, we saw machshava sisima, right? Remember we saw machshava sisima, which was the keser, which was the ratzon of why did God create us, maybe? Shebahem, right? So that's chachma. Kulam b'chachma k'moshe gaza b'sefer Yitzira. Now he's going to bring us to sefer Yitzira. Be'lamed beis nesivos pilios chachma chakak. So who here has heard of the lamed beis nesivos chachma? I don't know is a good answer. We practice saying I don't know. We're taught not to say I don't know. We're taught to, but in the base measure, it's like a lot of times you got to bleib shver. This kid knows about bleib and shver, am I right? You know about bleib and shver? You know about bleib and shver? Yeah, bleib and shver. What? Yeah, saying ich weiß nicht. Bleib and shver, yeah. I know you speak Yiddish, Yiddish? Yeah, it's bleib and shver, of course. I do a quick promo. My show is sponsored by Dr. Brown's Black Cherry, but we have cream soda here. So I guess all Dr. Brown's products, including celery. You say, Herenstein, why are you promoting celery? You don't even like it so much. It's like, yeah, but people like it. It's something that other humans can make themselves happier with. So I give them my full gushpanka. My full Rabba Barachana over here. The Rabba Barachana endorsement. Baruch Hashem, Malacham, Shakol Niyavro.
That all the good mark of Rabba Barachana
I didn't know that. Say again?
the good mark of Rabba Barachana.
The good?
Guzmaot.
Oh, the Guzmaot.
Guzpanka is one of the good marks of Rabba Barachana. The first few,
Called Gushpanka. I know Gushpanka from a Gemara with Pinchas, right? Karana Degers are Ihu Lihavi Parvanka actually. Gushmanka I just know from like around, but like I don't know the Rabbi Chana Gushmanka. Yeah, teach us.
Rabbi Chana has a couple of guzmaot, which are really
Of what?
Guzmaot.
What's a guzma? It's a guzma is like a exaggeration.
Yeah, exaggeration.
Okay.
Term called guzmaot or Rabbi Chana. It says quite a few of them,
Okay.
and it sounds extremely far-fetched from reality.
Oh, that's called a guzma.
But my friend fits on Google Earth.
Spying on people.
No, just seeing the picture.
Your friends on Google?
What's that?
Your friends with Google?
My friend?
No, yeah, your friends with Google.
Anything.
Wrong answer. Wrong answer.
Anyway,
Anytime you ask a question, we'll talk more about Google and the guzmas. But anyways, yes. So your friend works on Google Earth, and he can see these exaggerations. What does that even mean?
With my own reality, or just from another point of view, not from inside.
What does that mean that you could? What does that mean that you could see an exaggeration from space?
So the Gemara says a couple of things like.
Wait, hold on. I gotta know. You tripping? Is he tripping? No, okay, fine. It's okay if you are. Obviously, we're all shy again. I just wanted to know, like, are you taking me down a rabbit hole now of nonsense, or just sober nonsense?
There's this massive Leviathan and the ship size of 60 parts out.
It's a Bavasta Gemara.
A lot of different things, but you can see it all on Google Earth.
All right. Good Nakuda. Good Nakuda. Rabbi Rachana, he had a lot of guzmas in Bav Basra over there. The Maisim of Rabbi Rachana. But I don't know if you can see it from space, but you're saying that you can see some of those things from space? Okay. We're learning Safra, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So v'chein kol ha'atzilos nikra al shem yud shebishem shehi chachma. So all of the atzilos. So now what the gra is, and if I need to get another whiteboard. If I had a whiteboard, I can show the guys in share, and then I'll bring up the computer. So the gra is setting this up for us. He's saying that the yud, right? We have the kuto shel yud, which is that chachma sima, which is the keser, which has all of the spheres on them. But then we have the actual yud. Let me just split all of this stuff up. Yud, and then and then another higiri. Okay. So this yud, we said that was chachma sima. He says that is according to Atzilus, right? Remember we spoke about Atzilus at the very beginning of Shir? We spoke about the Olamos. And so he's saying that Chachma is, here, check it out. Oh, Harry, there's another picture there, Joe. I'll show you the pictures when I'm done. It's not that chashuv. I just want to write it down for myself. All right, we steigen da. All right, so that is that's the chachma, right? V'chein kol ha'atzilus nikra al shem yud. No, the atzilus is nikra al shem yud. Shebeshem shehi chachma. K'mo shegazav be'etz chayim de'al yedei his labshus ein sof b'chachma. Because what are we calling ein sof here? Shternbach. What are we calling ein sof? You're like steigen da. I hear ya. Hey, what are we calling Ein Sof?
Or Ein Sof? What do we call
Or
it?
Ein Sof. We're calling it, right? The Hislabshus Ein Sof B'chach. Remember, we're talking about the creation of the world. So we started with the Kutzo Shel Yud, which is not even manifestable in our world. The physical world, it's called Keser Elyon. The physical world, which is not manifest, right? Or Koach Elyon. The physical world, which is not manifestable in our world. And then that is somehow mislabesh into Chachma, which is Chachma is called Yesh, right?
Right.
Into the book, with something which is inscrutable, right? All the things that we cannot scrutinize, that we cannot think about.
Fair play.
וכן כל האצילוס נקרא שם יושב בשם שהיא חוכמה כמו שכתוב בעץ חיים of the Arizal, דעל ידי הסלבשוס אין סוף בחוכמה האציל כל האצילוס ומסלבש בהן. So that's how Olam HaAtzilus came to being. That this geometric dot, this concept which is impossible to represent in our world. I'll give you another example. You know, that you see two faces and I see a goblet, but really this object we cannot yet process. Right? You see two, but really it's this object is it's a picture. But you can look at it and see two faces, or you can look at it and see a goblet in the middle. You can't see both at the same time. Our brains cannot get to fisa on certain things. That represents like this or maybe maybe that's chachma. The geometric dot which cannot be represented. Then chachma is that picture of the lady and the young woman. You know that picture here?
Yeah.
Lady and young woman. The optical illusion. Yo, dude, you know this picture? What do you see here? What do you see?
Hold on, can you make it there?
Yeah. Let me screen share you so that we can look at this. Google Chrome. Share. Okay. So what do you see here?
Mm-hmm.
What do you see?
Definitely see someone's face turned towards the side with a hat and feather on.
And the necklace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful young woman, right? And a little bit of almost cleavage. But then
No, the V-neck, the no V-bones, sneeze.
it's kosher. And
No
then,
bones.
but if you look at that, instead of a necklace as a mouth and those as eyes, right? Instead of ear and
I
nose,
see an old lady, yeah.
it's an old
Her
lady.
head covering.
But wait a second, right? Wait a second. Is that a picture of a young lady or an old lady?
How do we get to this?
Is that because we're explaining the sphere of Chachma. The sphere of Chachma is something which can be represented in our world as something physical, but we can't comprehend it. Wait a second, what is this picture? Is it an old lady or is it a young lady? It's both. How could it be both? Either it's an old lady or it's a young lady. Either it's a picture, either that's a necklace or it's a mouth. It can't be both, right? The same thing with the okay, this one. Har, what do you see here?
Yeah.
Mathworld.com giving us the tiniest picture. Yeah, dude,
Looks
please.
like
That would be
like a
so
cup.
great. Yeah, that'd be so dope. Okay, so what do we see faces or a goblet here, Rabbi? What do we see?
I see a Kiddush cup.
You see a Kiddush cup, right? Well, I see two faces of these two faces looking at each other, right? So I wrote a song, never produced, but I say, you see two faces, I see a goblet, but really this object we cannot yet process. Just like quantum logic, we can't comprehend it. Revolving fire sore blocking off at the entrance. Yo, so I mentioned quantum mechanics in a song I wrote when I was 23, Gishmak. Like quantum logic, right? And no, this is unbelievable, by the way, that we were talking about like quantum mechanics before, and now like this is so apropos, because really, we can't see this picture as either it's a picture of two faces, and that background is white, or it's a picture of a goblet in the background on a black background. It can't be both at once, and yet it is. But we can't comprehend it. That's like chachma type stuff. And right, and then And then here I'm gonna let's continue. So that's like Chachma type stuff, right? I like the other.
My speaker is gonna die in like 30 seconds, so I have to like charge it for 5 minutes, then we jump back in.
Hold up. Oh, you wanted to smoke, so yo, dude, you just missed the most geschmack thing ever. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. Okay, but we're not getting into it. We'll talk. You can watch this on the replay. Okay, Harry's thing's about to fall down, right? So that's how. So first, this geometric dot, which is something which is incomprehensible in our world, existed. That was Keser Elyon, right? That was Keser. That was Machshavas Shesima. Then it got manifested into our world as something which could be manifested. It's the hidden book. It could exist. This picture exists, but we can't comprehend what it is. We can't possibly understand. Is this a little girl? Is this like a young woman? Or is this an old woman, right? Depending on how you look at the necklace or the mouth, depends on what picture you're seeing. But really, both of them are existing at once. And that was going down to Chachma. That was the hislabshus of Keser into Chachma. Kamosha Kasav be'etz Chaim, the Aide hislabshus ein sof. The Chachma had Zikol Atios hislabish ben. The Chen reishes agiloi hu machshava. Kamosha Kasav be'idrazuta. Daf reish pei test. By the way, idrazuta. Maimer Arim as Yadayvit Solosin. That's the Nakuda. And we're just getting all these callbacks, right? Be'idrazuta daf reish pei test amud beis. Azar de shiruza ish dechach. The place where it rests, it's found. Hu nihiro dechach masa. That's the light of chachma, right? Wherever, right? Azar de shiruza, wherever it is, you will find the chulei. I don't know what it says. I don't know that Zohar, but this is talking about the light of chachma. He says v'chein b'daf reish sadi amud aleph mehai. Oh, is he gone? Right, he's gone. Mehai, it's okay, we'll continue. Mehai Idan Ikri Sherusa Be'atika. It means that it's like Nishrat, it's resting in Atika. Lo Ikri, it's not called. Hi Chachma Sherusa Dekula. This Chachma is the Sherut, it's the engine, it gives them the ability to act. It's the facilitates them because Sherutim is facilities. Huh? You like that tight? It's okay. Hi, Chachmaza Sheruza Dekula. Kula lo is Khalil. Kula lo is Khalil. Rega. Kula lo is Khalil ela v'hai. It's all included in Chachma, right? It's all included in Chachma. Hu yud sheb'shem techilas Hashem. That's the yud of the name, which is the beginning of the name. V'klal kol ezer sfiros hu yud. And the yod is gishmak. He's saying it's all in Chachma, and Chachma is represented by yud, and the gematria of yud is 10, and that references all of the sfiros. Gishmak. V'lachein nikra kol limud kabbalah Chachma. And that's why Chachma, called Chachmas HaNister. All of Kabbalah is called Chachma, and that's why, because Chachma contains all of the spheros, and that is what it means by self. Chachma was God's first expression of Himself into the world, right? Because the first. What? No, that's what the game says. Right? No, that's my explanation of the game. He says, right? We call as there is a yud. Kol limud kabbalah chachma b'zehu safra. All of limud kabbalah is called chachma. Chachma is anister because all of the spheros are included in chachma. Oh, what about kezer? So that is not that's without a tefisa. But what we can start to even try to pick apart, that's from chachma. And inside, we're seeing how God started from the Big Bang, from the Tzimtzum, from the ayin, from the ayin to yesh me ayin. That's what we're steiging, and that's the first paragraph. Rabbi Harry.
Beautiful, bro. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's so geschmack. I love it.
All right, thanks, man.
For sure, dude. How do I open up my thing? I don't know. I don't know how to get out of a screen share and hang up, but it's okay.
Yeah, we're stagnant.
We're stagnant because we're stagnant anyways. I think that here's a good place to stop because like I think that here's a good place to stop. Because but I want to get back. I want to get back and sign off at least. Say like goodbye to everyone.
This was so much fun. So
This was fun. All right, bye
let's
everyone.
schedule another
I'm
one.
stuck here behind this chachma, take a picture. Or maybe not. I don't even know how Zoom works. Anyways, Harry, this was very geschmack. Shternbach and Chezkiyahu and others. This was a very geschmack limud of some Zayar, yeah. And we're back sometime, Yo, dude, it was so geschmack having you and Shir. All right, yo, Harry, you gotta hang up because I don't know how.
All right, peace city piss.
Wait, hold on, wait. He's saying something.
Yes, my cousin.
Oh, there's me. There's me. I see me.
What did he say?
He said Chazaku Baruch, and then he said God bless you.
Tell him I know it's gonna work now.
He said he knows it's gonna work now. Now that he knows it's gonna work. All right, yo, I don't know how to even.
Love you, bro.
Stop. I love you too, bro. I don't know how to hang up. All right, so I guess the shear's going on. All right. But I don't feel like it anymore. Right now I want to smoke a J, even though I was doing that all share anyways. So what's going on? Tell us about yourself. Oh, here we go. Stop share. I got it. All right. So you want to tell the Yidden Nation about yourself, Shternbach? Shternbach, tell us about yourself. Tell us who you are.
Hi, my name is Alexander Osher Ben Malki Gittel. My last name is Margolis.
Oh, I thought it was Shternbach.
No, my grandma's name.
So listen, he still has yichus, but it's not like Ben Achar Ben, We're very elitist here in the yeshiva circles. What about you, Rabbi?
LA boy.
LA boy. Nice. What's about time? How long you been in Israel? Yeah, papers, yeah.
I'm totally lost. Don't even bring that up, even if you feel it. How about? Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I didn't even we are always
As God created the world.
Steigen.
I always talk about that many times.
Yeah, but what did you say? I don't remember, yo. He's just like chilling face right now. This is a man who's Steigen face. Sure. All right, yo. So we'll turn the recording off and say piggity peace. Say piggity peace. Give us a bracha. Say piggity peace to the Yidden Nation, guys. Say piggity peace.
Piggity peas?
Yeah, piggity peas. I don't know. It's Rick and Morty. Actually, I don't know if that's Rick and Morty, but the whole iggities. I'll tell you guys tell you guys Pshat and iggities because like everyone's like, oh, Ernstein, what's iggity? So first of all, iggity is an ant, right? An iggity ant. Call them eggs. It's from Rick and Morty. Let's get riggedy wrecked. And so then we're like, oh, okay, iggity means that it's more, right? And so like we just started throwing eggs, riggities around, And yeah, so that's Pshat. I know everyone's like, yo, why does this guy keep talking about that? I don't know. It's like a kind of thing. It's like, diggity. Yo, what are you learning now? No? Is Yeshiva open? No?
Here, right now.
Yeah, it's true. This is the only Yeshiva. Yeshiva Geulas Shaul is open.
What's it called?
Geulas Shaul.
Geulas Shaul?
Yeah. Yeah, I started with Harry. It's a shame that he's not still here. He would have loved this. But I was just like, yo, like, how am I going to turn this off? And then I turned to it, micro chill. But, yo, so me and Harry started this yeshiva. And, you know, there's a lot of, like, things that when I was going through, like, when I was in yeshiva, that, like, I just saw were missing, you
Where
know.
were you in yeshiva?
I was in yeshiva in 12th grade. I spent the entire year learning in Cheriyashiv 3 Sidarim. I learned 5 years in yeshiva here. I learned in Hakodah of Ilson's, Chispin, and the Mir. And then Oraita, I became Madrich in Oraita while I was in the Mir. I learned by Rav Asher Ayeli in the Ivrish year. That's twice a week.
Oh, sorry, we the son-in-law
Of Nachum. Nachum Bartovich. Yeah. And
to be my cousin somehow, I'm not sure.
nice. We got Malchus over here, Yidden Nation. We got Miggity.
Oh my god, internet world.
Dope, bro. So, started this yeshiva. We realized, like, listen, like, no one, like, they weren't putting enough, like, the yeshiva, all these different yeshivas, they're all amazing, and I love them, and I learned from each one. And I didn't feel that, like,
Everyone with their own.
I didn't feel that
You
they were
identified
putting,
with it.
I didn't put, no, I identified with the Torah everywhere. But I didn't identify. So when I was in Meir Sharim, I didn't identify with the fact that they were like saying Tzionim Achutza. And when I was in Dakota, I didn't identify with the fact that they were saying like, oh, Tikva, not Tikva, everything I Tikva also. And they were also saying Imesh Kachech Yerushalayim. And they're also going to IU to become a doctor and forget about Israel. And sometimes give money if they're feeling rich. Right? And so I was like, yo, like I just couldn't. Listen, it's a good life. It's a path for people, but it wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. I couldn't. So then I went to Rav Elson's in Meir Sharim, and then I went to, actually, you want to hear the rest of the story? Check out the podcast or the interview. The first interview that I did, the first interview that happened in person, the first like late night talk show host in the world was me. It was crazy. Pashut Herenstein. Yeah, so that was I said this then. I guess I'll say it again. So then I was in a hotel, and then I was like, yeah, I can't deal with it. So I went to the Meir Sharim, and there was all like Tzionim Achutza, Tzionim Einam Yehudim. And I was like, yo, like, let's talk about like the mitzvah asay mid'oraisa to go to war. Like that's it. And this guy knows what I'm talking about. This kid knows what I'm talking about. So,
Quiet laughter.
What path did you take?
So what path did I take? Good question. So then I had so then I was in Chispin. Then I went to Chispin, right? And then I went to the army. But before I went to the army, I ended up in the Mir by Rav Asher Ayeli. And that was Geshmak Madriching in our hotel. And that was like Zer Geshmak.
So you ended up spending time in the army after all.
Yeah, and I asked Rav Asher if I should go.
What did you say?
So after Shir, like a bunch of Bachrim would like
What did I
follow.
miss? Sorry?
What?
What did I miss?
The army.
Sorry.
Right, I asked Rav Asher.
okay.
Right, so after Shir, there's like a bunch. You know how the Chen Yakim, the Yankos and the Yailis, right? They go and they follow and they ask him those shilas after Shir. Like, Rebbe, what did you mean with this? It's very geschmack because you're like spending so much time trying to understand this Gemara, and then like Rav Asher like goes in like a completely different direction. You're like, wait a second, Rav Asher, I have a question. Like, how did you not see that like Kitsos was referring to like this and right and like Pshat and whatever? And like I don't know, I didn't learn any Kitsos with Rav Asher. I just took the name out of a hat. Oh, what about the Avnei Miluim? Yeah, we probably saw some Avnei Miluim because we're learning Nashim, right? Anyways, so I went and like people were asking him questions, and then he gets on like a bus, right? And I said, Rav Asher, I said, like, I have a question. And people were like, because like not everyone who follows him from the base to the bus gets to ask him a question, you know? And so people were like asking him, and I knew that I was going to be the last person to ask him a question because I needed to talk to him, not just like, well, everyone was there, right? So, like everyone, he's like getting under the bus, and he's like, I need to refund that. You know, you never seen him talk? I need to refund it. He doesn't say Nitra Macha. Right? He's like the most soft spoken. It's like he's amazing. And so so he gets on the bus, right? I was like, Harav Yeshi Sheila. Right? And he's walking about Harav and you're guys. Right? I want to go to the army. Stops in his tracks, turns to me, he's like, boom, boom. Right? And so I'm on the bus with the Gadol door. And he's like trying to convince me not to go to the army, right? And this was I was 23, I think. This was 7 years ago. And so I
What a story.
yeah. So I'm asking him questions. Me and Rav Asher are sitting next to each other. And he's like trying to like hint to me why I shouldn't go to the army. And
What did you say, Tachlis?
so Tachlis, he said like you should go. I was like, Rebbe, isn't there a mitzvah asay to go? Isn't like a kiyuv and like the whole and like we went through the sugya of like, oh, but the heter between the chacham is not actually really a heter, and right, and like the tamid chacham doesn't need like things and like whatever. We went through the whole sugya a long time ago. We went through the whole sugya of going to the army, and then he says to me, listen, there's one reason you shouldn't go to the army. Here's the real reason. Like I tried to get you with the sugya, but I couldn't get you with the sugya. I'll tell you why you shouldn't go to the army. I'm like, let's hear it. Right? He's like, I'll tell you why you shouldn't go to the army. Right? And I was like 20 at the time. I was like, lama. Right? And he said, Hahu Rasha. I was like, who? What? Like a Russia? He's like, yeah, the Russia. I was like, Rebbe, I don't know who you're talking about. He's like, you know who I'm talking about. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. I'm like, I'm from America. I don't know anything that's going on in Israeli politics, right? Because he said to me, he's like, yeah, the political guy. I had no idea what he was talking about. And then like the political guy, and I'm like, dude, I have no idea who you're talking about, Russia. And he said, dude, I was like, so he looks out the window. He says, Lapid. And I'm like, yeah, but who cares about Lapid? Like I said, how does Lapid have any chalais on my chiyuv over here to like go like in this Mechames mitzvah? And he was like, you shouldn't go because like they're trying to destroy the Torah world and etc. And so I went anyways. And the army was tough, but it was building the building experience. I'm happy I had it. You know, I'm happy I had it. And that's my story of the bus with the rusher. So then I was in the mirror. I was also a madrichin. All right. So then I went to the army. I fought in Sukeitan. I drove tanks. I had machsanit b'achnes. We had a lot of like whatever. It was a pretty crazy time. The first day, like some people in our unit died. So that was pretty crazy.
What?
Yeah, the first day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, one of the guys from Miluim and his driver were driving like a regular like Jeep, and they got hit with an anti-tank missile.
Wow.
Yeah, very sad. So like obviously the army was really tough and like messed me up a little bit, but it also like helped me grow a tremendous amount. You know, to be able to go through that, to be, you know, was
Yeah, it pushes you through, forces you.
Yeah, and so I did the best that I could in the army, and then I started college, and I got this scholarship to this I got a scholarship to this what's it called, Israeli liberal arts college called Shalem, and I was there for 3 years. But then when I wrote my thesis, which do I not have my thesis here? I gotta have some Judemonias here. Not possible. I couldn't find it in my last year either. I wrote my Sefer.
What you read? Yeah.
I wrote my Sefer. Is this it? Oh, we got it. It's live. Yo, check this book out, dude. This is my Sefer, yeah.
What's the thing is that?
So Simcha Shel Mitzvah. So Simcha Shel Mitzvah, I call it Judamonia, a theological rampage. I just go in, and I'm saying, like, this is what the Torah says. This is how, like, they're trying to portray things. But I gotta read the words. So, let me explain it to you. Okay? It says, this paper is dedicated to any human to have ever felt bad about themselves because of religion. For example, anyone who so much as chaps this cartoon. And I want to just say that whoever wrote this cartoon, I want to credit you. I don't know who you are, but I want to give you credit. And, like, monetary compensation, if there was one, which there's a little bit, I saw them at shows. We can talk. We can talk through it, yo. Yeah, bro, what's going on here? Let me do it. Oh man. All right. So read this. No, this guy read this.
I don't know if I'm gonna get there.
You can do it. I believe in you. No, not the whole thing, just the front.
No.
All right. You wanna give it to that guy to read if you're having trouble reading? Yeshivish guys don't know how to read so good. I don't know English so good, but I remember. Okay, high five, dude. One for the high five, the peace high five.
I'm not a reader.
Yeah, it's okay. Also, you're
I'm tripping.
Steigen face. Yo, read it out loud, bro. Read the front page out loud.
This paper is dedicated to any human to have ever felt bad about themselves because of religion. For example, anyone who so much as chaps.
Oh, you got it. He says chaps, right? For people like him, right?
What am I gonna say, chaps?
Bro. Dude, there's mad people that say chaps. I get mad chaps saying chaps.
I forgot to say Mashmur Achmar the Gestim, so I just said that Ishmael Kalani. Boo! That already worked. Same Tommy Martin, y'all. Boo!
Boo, yeah, so then what happened?
No, I don't know what it says in Orachaim. I guess
That's the halacha, right? And then so what do you see the state of this guy who messed up on his Shemona Esrei?
This guy's messed up.
What's he messed up? Explain 4 ways that he's messed up. Let's hear Kayach Hadiyot.
4 ways that he's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Four ways that he's messed up.
So we see that he's anxious. We see that he's depressed. We see that he's alcoholic. We see that he's suicidal. He's messed up. Essentially, you're right. He's messed up.
Okay.
You're like, I don't know how Mukhrach goes for.
I tried to follow the bottles and I didn't realize the gun. Now I see the gun because only half the picture. And I didn't think that it was alcohol.
It's okay. Oh, you didn't think that it was alcohol, even though it has X on it?
Who knows what XX means?
That's true. Yeshivish people might not know XXX. I'm just busting chops over here, chopping busts. But you see, that's how they bust chops. But you see what a person feels like because of religion. What?
Vlogging.
We're not vlogging. We're doing a podcast or it's really, I call it Zoom steigs. But I keep on getting encouraged to have someone handle all of my stuff. I rap and I do and I like teach Torah and like I like write books and like I do stuff.
Manager.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, manager,
Yeah, but like it's like tell me also like with social and stuff like I don't know. And so yeah, so like figuring that out, and so he rebranded my Zoomsteig as a podcast, and he calls it GeulaCast. And I'm like, okay, like I guess it's like a good name. Like I try to take other people's advice because everyone always says, you never think. Everyone, my mom, Zachary, you never take anyone's advice. You only think about yourself. You think you're so smart, but you should know that there's always going to be someone smarter than you. That's what my mom says. I said, Mom, it's nothing to do with smart. It has to do with crazy. And there's never going to be someone crazier than me. I've been in psych wards all over Israel. Rehabs. Never met anyone close. Never met anyone close that's crazy as me. Oh, Moshe Gersh, the future Gadol Ador. My chavrusa and one of my best friends. Right? So my book, what's the thesis of my book? It's that like that situation of religion should not happen. That a person, because he like messes up religion, he's like depressed. And that's why it's Geulas Shaul.
So what's there? Like, no, didn't leave anything behind.
What's the outcome?
What?
What's the outcome?
Guy's such a litzvah. He's the biggest compliment, bro.
Epilogue, do you call it? Epilogue?
Yeah, what about the epilogue?
Oh, yeah, there's a conclusion. Self-escaping through these holes that is gaping. This
world is mine for the taking.
The world is mine for the taking. Make the kingdom move towards a new world.
Oh, that's rapid.
As we move toward a new world order, normal life is boring, but superstardom's close to post-mortem. It only grows harder. It only grows harder. These holes are all on him. Yeah, this is why Robin, this is your first interaction with Eminem. Read it. Read every word. This is very kadosh. What does it say? What's
souls escaping through these holes that is gaping. Okay, yeah. I guess that's why escaping is not a real word, right?
Gaping means like open.
Yeah.
Like a gap, yeah.
Oh, it's not a real word.
Yeah.
It's Eminem's word.
It's a real word. A hole can be gaping.
The world is mine for the taking. Make me king as we move to a world north.
As we move toward a new world order.
Normal life.
That's what I wrote. That's where I ended it.
Normal life forward.
Wow. I end it. As we move toward a new world order. I talk about a new world order. You know? As we move toward a new world order, a normal life is boring, right? And he goes back there and he says, in superstardom, close to postmortem. All right.
We began our journey wondering how a lack of sympathy with Hashem were in exile. We saw a Gemara in Shabbat 30b, which according to our Kiddush, novel interpretation, in the Rambam, gives genuine halachic import to subjective happiness, regardless of whether said happiness comes from listening to music, eating candy, or dressing fly.
Dressing
fly.
Nice.
Serious stuff. What's important is that we're doing things that we love, focusing on simple shemit. Repeatedly qualify the simple shemit means for the simple to be done in the context of the word of Hashem. We translated it as divine service. But what does that mean? I don't think of it as service in the space sense, but in the sense of work, figuring out what God, Torah, and mitzvah means to us in the likeness. One thing that is clear, we are meant to do said work for simple and happiness. It would be a tragic mistake to wait until we are completely deciphered.
Decipher, perhaps?
Deciphered? I don't know what that means.
Like, what's the sentence?
We have completely deciphered. Okay, I guess went off track. What it means to be Ibdu before we start talking, taking our children. It would be great if we're waking up and loving on Lula.
Oh, I don't
like the reason we don't shake Safra.
It's middle of thing.
Well, it's Kufra in general.
Go to the yeshiva. Right. The yeshiva is.
Where did I come in? To like the back.
Make a right. Make a right and then a left. Make a right, walk all the way until you get attacked by a goose, and then make a left.
Be Mary. Maybe this is, yeah.
This has been another episode of Zoomsteig, possibly season 2 of GeulaCast. Even though season 1 of GeulaCast was Steigen here. This is all Steigen here, you know? Different iterations. You know, so this could be season 3, I guess. Get some guy with yichus up the tuchus over here perusing my book, you know. Hope you're chilling. Put out.
So have you figured out the path to happiness then?
Oh, so have I figured out that evidence? So I've been on this path for a long time, and I think that the path to happiness is to understand who we really are.
Well, I guess when you really understand who you really are, you are happy.
Well, yeah, happiness is
Well, what does that
self-love.
mean?
Happiness is self-love, I think also.
Appreciation, maybe.
So when a person is happy, a person is happy, a person is chill. There's simcha and there's tov levav. This idea of super chill is tov levav. It's an Aristotle called eudaimonia, which is why my book is eudaimonia, because I found it in like a bunch of makaras. Right? You were like, oh, this is geschmack. You brought all the cars. This guy's such a litva. You know what they told me in college? They said, you didn't bring any modern academics. Who do you think you are? Going straight to the Gemara and the Rishonim. Right? We need you to focus more on Achrayim. And I was like, I'm out. Straight up. You're not going to tell me my derech halimud. It was also...
This is in college?
I was in college. I was in like this.
Why you?
No, why you? No way.
No.
I got a scholarship to
After the army.
the army. I got this scholarship to
Liberal arts.
this liberal arts college. Yeah, everyone got a scholarship though. It's not that impressive. I don't even know why I said it. Just because like I'm like, oh, Shmuel. But like, it's not about me. Everyone knows it's
How
not
does
about
that
myself.
have any connection to Gemara?
Pashut.
Whatever.
Oh no. What?
How does this liberal art college have anything to do with Afrodim and Morning or whatever?
They wanted me to analyze the opinion of of modern academics. Long. Yeah, don't say his name. Don't say his name. It's a secret. Say my name. No one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. Why the sudden change? This song doesn't make any sense to me. I guess it's because I don't know any of the words. Say my name. Yo, Destiny's Child, what a band. So your mom didn't listen to Goyish music?
No, I still don't like this thing.
You just don't like to listen to Goyish music?
Well, I guess it's
Because you need some amkus in your lyrics. You would love my music, bro.
trance is fine.
That's amkus.
Yeah. The words are simple. Even though words are very powerful, they have this whole new world. Every word being said opens. But this symptom of words opens sometimes worlds that I don't want to be connected to.
I hear.
Let's just say that.
I hear.
Goyish world, what they call.
Yeah. What if it's Yiddish music? What if it's
but-
Jewish music? Like it's with a message, with a lesson.
Yeah, Jewish music is a different story.
On the lesson, all right.
Different story. And when it gets to psychedelic music, it's a bit different.
Now, what happens when Jewish music and Goyish music converge, and you have like, okay, you have all of the
Yom Tov Erlich songs or what?
Yontif Erlich, my songs, bro.
Okay, go on. No, I was just saying the connection.
It's okay. You want to hear a song? I'll give you all there. All right? Ready? Is it Ratzon Hashem in a rut and depressed? Or is this a remnant of Christian oppression? I went off the derech, but don't be offended. Attempt to remember that so did Koheles. He said that happiness never just happens, bitch. Have fun and practice it. Never be average, a savage, amasses the castle of sadness. He cannot relax, and is having his ass kicked by black-hatted antics, pleasureless lives, trapped into smashing his ass to the grind. I'd rather die laughing and high, because happiness hides in a satisfied mind. Yeah, they Mekayim, but then they be stupid, casting a Zion, but really they wounded. They call it fulfill because it be full of fools with spiceless existence, minus fulfillment. Multitudes feud in the futile pursuit of superfluous chumras. They rue as they do. The mo you know yourself, the mo you owe yourself. That's the show, bro. Grow to own yourself. So, davar hakol nishma es ha'elohim. So, yeah. Hey, that's
You got quite a bit of talent, right?
Oh,
Well, I wouldn't necessarily give you a scum on the song.
why wouldn't you give me a song? Because it's dissing your kind. It's dissing your ilk. Not dissing, it's not dissing. I love Haredim. Pashut Herenstein loves Haredim. Loves all humans. Haredim the least, though. What?
It's got nothing to do with Haredim. What maybe has to do with my Haredim upbringing.
Right.
Which I'm quite fond of, and I never thought to put my children through any other sort of upbringing.
Bro, I am with you. I don't think that there's one path in the world that everyone should follow. I think that everyone has their path,
Personal path.
right? But everyone has their path with the Eibishter also.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be, and so one of the problems that I have with the Haredi Chinuch is that they try to make everyone the same. Yeah, you know.
Absolutely, but that's where Breslov comes in. Where
You wrestle?
I wish I was.
Yeah.
But,
So what are you?
Where Breslov comes in, and Breslov teaches that you don't need to be everyone to their own. It should be a tzaddik, and that your personal aims have nothing to do with anyone else.
I like Breslov. I love Chabad. I love Breslov. I'm not crazy about Safra. Not crazy about him. I think there are a bunch of hotheads. You know?
You know, it says this last week's parsha. It says that Pinchas. Pinchas. Why didn't you choose Pinchas? Like, why was Moshe looking for a successor?
Right.
When you have Pinchas right
Is
there.
it Pinchas too much of a kanai?
Exactly.
Nice.
Pinchas was way too much of a kanai to be able to lead our cause.
Yo.
But,
Wow, that's really deep.
It's extremely deep. But at the same time,
Who says this? Is it
I'm not
Gemara
sure.
or,
I'm not sure where that picked that up from.
It's an interesting idea. It's an interesting idea. Right now.
I picked it up from.
Yeah.
The Dafayom Shir. Why was it the Dafayom Shir? Whoa. I don't remember.
Yo,
somewhere across.
Stay down. Because we're still recording.
Massive, bro. Wake up.
No, that's right. Yo, dude, you want some Dr. Brown's? You want some cold Dr. Brown's? Just the J?
Yeah, so what you see is basically that Pinchas can't be the leader, but Pinchas has his own space. You know what I mean? He's got his specialty. He's special.
Oh, you did one?
What?
I asked you before if you wanted.
I took.
Oh, you took? Whoa, I'm so high.
I just don't run for it. Simple as.
Right, but didn't I give you?
You did.
Didn't I offer you? And you took. Okay, I just don't remember.
I just didn't run to take it.
I do drugs too much for you, tuck and strew, hun. I'm bruised up. I lose thoughts, abuse lungs, and true love, basically.
I guess in order to have a middle way, you have to have extremes of both sides. Otherwise, you don't know what the middle is. Right?
In order
to find the middle path,
right?
the extreme has to exist.
Well, there will always exist an extreme by definition, right? I mean, we're not dealing with Kutzo Shayud over here. Oh, sick callback! right? We're not dealing with a geometric dot. We are dealing with things that are physical. I think you're talking about like the overall steig of an individual, and so we're talking about a person's steig, and we're talking about the idea of extremes. And since we're talking about the idea of extremes of people's steigs, there by definition is always going to be extremes, and everyone's got to do what's good for them, and there will always be extremes as long as they're not hurting anyone else. The reason that I have my issues with Summer is because I feel that it's ideology, an ideology predicated on hate and not predicated on love, and I can't accept any ideology predicated on hate.
You can't say that it's based on hate at all. No, it's based
You don't think
on
so? Okay.
Based on a certain kanaut, which you can argue if it's right or wrong.
Well, first of all, it's definitely wrong if you want to talk about it halachically. You want to talk about it with the sugya. I'm not getting into the sugya now of the sugya of Yeshiva Eretz Yisrael, which so clearly is mitzvah.
Yeshiva Eretz Yisrael, yeah.
Right.
Then there are a couple of things in fact. Masiut.
Yeah. So, but the way they go around it is that they throw things at soldiers, and I've almost gotten beaten up twice.
But fine, I got beaten up by the police. So what?
Okay, so do you think I'm gonna fucking defend the police? Fuck the police also. Fuck the police. Fuck the police more than the Satmar. I don't even say fuck Satmar. I just say like, yo, like fuck Satmar a little bit. But I always quote Rabbi Yoel. I think I might have quoted him at the beginning of no. We're talking with Harry. I was talking to Harry before we went on Zoom. I said like we're gonna start with Daf Aleph. And I said, what's Daf Aleph? Daf Aleph. Rabbi Yoel. When he came to America, he was talking, hacking everyone to China, like in Shir, seeing where everyone's from, what their story is. They're like, what about learning? He said, we learn Daf Aleph now, getting to know the individual.
Wow, that's nice.
So I quote Rabbi Yoel.
Very good word.
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful, right? So I quote Rabbi Yoel. I just think that.
You're Rav already, isn't it? You don't have to agree to anything.
Yes.
I think that the story of the Meraglim,
yeah,
and the difference between the Meraglim and Kaleb and Yefuna and Yeshua ben Nun,
yeah,
was that the Meraglim did the job. Yeah, they were sent to spy.
right,
and they came back and they spied,
yeah,
basically.
Good kasha.
But what they were saying basically is that look, you have to be realistic. Basically, when Hashem is Melamala V'derech HaTeva, so you're supposed to see. What do you call it? Take it in. What's the right word for taking it in? Fnim.
To internalize.
To internalize it and do exactly what Kaleb and Yefuna and Yeshua ben Nun did. That they said
They looked at it positively.
They didn't say it's not true. They didn't deny it. And we're aware.
Right, don't know what they say.
Defeat.
Right.
We will defeat. They had this positive
attitude. Yeah, dude, I jive with that so much. Dude, sick board.
So what I'm trying to get to is that the point is that you cannot deny reality. You have to internalize reality. Like Rabbi Nachman says, you are the one that has the mission to change it.
Nice.
Do whatever you
can.
Ma'apech
L'tov. Shlomo always talks about that.
Everything has to be half a foot.
That's the Indian of my safari. That's the Indian of my safari, bro.
So the reality is that
whoa, what did you just medaklemli?
What's that?
Ma diklamta עכשיו.
What I said?
Yeah, diklamta. Rega. That's a beautiful word in Hebrew. Medaklim, to pronounce. What did you pronounce, bro? What did you say?
I said the word of Allah.
Why?
Because what I was saying is that you're able to make a change into the future.
Yeah, but what was the two shell?
No, it's just I was thinking myself because I try as much as possible to be my world has changed after I said this morning for that.
Wow.
So that everything that I lived up until this day was that I I put my part in and to change my path
That's
and
beautiful.
put me into a new future.
That's
So,
beautiful.
Baruch
With
Hashem. So I was
Hodah,
trying to explain
with
it.
gratitude.
I'm saying Todah, it's more than that.
Yeah, I hear.
Thank you.
You know, gratitude is very important.
Thank you, Hashem.
Thank you, Hashem. You know.
So when you're saying that, you're changing. That's the hypochlato. That's where you're literally what's it called?
What? I'm listening.
Thank you, Hashem.
I'm listening. Yeah, thank you, Hashem. Sorry, I spaced out.
So
I got triggered.
Yeah, so the Indian was trying to say that you have to internalize the reality and do what you can to build a better reality. So if what you can do right now is say Kapitzah Tehillim, then do it.
Barge in and charge me on my safari. I agree with you, bro.
So
I agree with you.
same
You know,
goes, I'm having
safari,
an
2
argument
paths.
now about what's happening right now.
Wait, we're having an argument?
No. In Israel.
Oh, they're having an
I'm
argument.
saying
in Israel.
that's,
Sometimes I'm in an argument I don't even realize.
I was having
Oh.
not a Torah argument, maybe a shkafa argument. And this guy came and he said we have to run away from here. And I was like, no, we have to make a change. I don't think that's the change in this country.
Yeah, things have to
It's
change.
not the point of.
Someone said we have to run away from
backing
here?
off because he says the Zionists are the ones that gave it to you. I said, no, Hashem is what gave it to me. So I said, everything is like, so he's like, what, the Shoah as well? I said, yes. But don't have to like my answer.
Yeah.
If you want to get into why,
Right, we can talk about it. I agree with you. Right. Oh, you're
Goyim says, yeah.
Who said?
The
You think that was the reason for the Holocaust?
The Jews asked for Ribono Shel Olam to be used where your servants use us. In the bigger picture, when we're talking about the pain it caused, we're going into very small detail of the bigger picture.
Right. But I don't get like super caught up in questions like why did God let the Holocaust happen? Because listen, sometimes shit happens and sometimes like it happens to us and it fucking sucks and like you gotta just keep moving and growing from it, you know? From every trauma you can grow.
But on the higher level, it's not even the problem.
Right. When you're talking in the level of Chachmas Sima, of Machshavas Sima, of Keser, that we have no asaga of how it could be. Yeah, we can't. There are some certain things we can't understand. How the Holocaust can happen is this Machshavas Sima.
That's again. Let's understand the future. Let's understand the current, and let's understand that the past is paid for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
if it takes 6 million Jews to die for the whole world to make a massive shift of consciousness towards.
Oh, shift of consciousness. Now you're talking in my language. But you don't. You can't say that.
Say yes.
I hear what you're saying.
But all I'm saying is that we don't understand and we can't question it.
Right, so
and it's still like a
I hear you. Yes,
it's still like a Baruch Hu.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Why Hitler came and he was leading the thing.
I'm with you. But you have to just take a step back for a quick second. I remember the Gemara that talks about Shulchan Khan. You say, "Kol Omer al Kan Sipor Sheyu Rachamov Mashtikin." I say, Mashtikin.
That's also.
No, so what am I saying? Everyone who says that this mitzvah is because for this reason that's why like God told us to shoo away the mom before we take the eggs, so that we don't like make the mom sad, even though like really like the mom would be sad anyways because she just lost her eggs. That's the question that I have. But whatever. At least she's not getting from in front of her. I don't know. But anyways, but you can't say what the reason is, because why? Because then you're doing it. Then you're making it like you're making it about like a midos of Hashem, and really it's a gezerah. Really, we can't understand it, and that's okay. Kabbalistic. I'm talking to you. I'm a Nigler Rebbe. Don't get to me with Kabbalah. We're talking about Stelling to a Gemara over here.
We were just learning
Mishnah.
We haven't spoken about something nigga for a while.
I know, I was joking. But now we're back.
My most nigla was my mitzvah.
Well, I just niggled you a Mishnah. Just niggled you a Mishnah. I'm a Nigler Rebbe. You happened to walk in on a Kabbalah share, so you got to see me talking a little Kabbalah.
I had this, I was also trying to understand it, this whole idea about sanctification, since I have pigeons in on my porch.
I can't do shidduch kind of pigeon because it's not kosher animal.
Pigeons.
Pigeon's kosher?
Sorry, yeah.
B'nai Yonim is a dove.
Doves.
Dove.
Pigeons.
Pigeon's not a dove. Is pigeon a dove? Yo, let's look that up. I can't screen share it right now. Can I screen share it to no one? Screen share. Let's go to Google Chrome. Share screen. Okay.
Anyway, the point is.
Oh shit, a low battery. Hold
What do
on.
you get if it's a kosher animal or not?
What?
You mean what it comes for?
Right. Are pigeons
So
doves?
that's interesting because that means for maybe the pigeon is just the most common sipar.
They seem to be different animals. Are pigeon and doves the same thing? No difference between a pigeon and a dove in scientific nomenclature. But colloquial English tends to categorize them by size. Something called a dove is generally smaller than something called a pigeon, but that's not always the case. A common pigeon, for example, is called both a rock dove and a rock pigeon. Wow.
Seriously?
Yeah, no difference in a dove and a pigeon.
A dove is usually white. That's my picture of a dove.
I don't know why you're bringing me colloquial English over here, but we're talking scientific nomenclature, and there's no difference. Anyway, so right, so you saw the shul. Okay, right. So what I'm saying is that you can't say that you can't say a statement like this is why like the Holocaust happened, but you can like suggest like theories and stuff, and let me talk about it. But I love that you talked about the elevation of consciousness because I do believe that that's the area of growth. I mean, well, the Holocaust led to also a lot of like stuff happening like politically, and the whole world changed, and so like a person could like, but I like the elevation of consciousness better. That through every tough time, there is always an opportunity for the elevation of consciousness. Yeah. And so that's what we have to have kavanah that should happen in these days, in Corona times.
It's a massive one. I don't know, but I got married in this.
You got married in this?
I got married.
Wow. 2 months ago, Mazel Tov. Where you guys living? Oh no, I used to live there. Yo, well, you're welcome back. Anytime, you know. This was Geschmack. We give Nigla Shirim also. If you're like, I'm not going for Kabbalah.
The point was that you have to internalize the current and try and make a shinu l'tova.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's no point. I was telling him he was like run away from Israel. So I said, what's the point of going somewhere nowhere? I mean, the things that have been done, right or wrong.
Who was this guy?
Has been done already.
Right.
Why do you think
let's try to make it better.
No, there is a what do you mean? You're gonna walk away from Israel? Imagine you were the king of Israel right now. You are the king of Israel. And
I am the king of Israel. That's for sure.
Every one of us is the king of Israel.
Every one of us is the king of Israel. I'm just also the king of Israel. Also, you know, king. Listen, we're all kings. Everyone's got to be melech for themselves. I'm going to be melech Mashiach for themselves, right? To redeem themselves to redeem themselves from their evil emotions. As Spinoza, you know Baruch Spinoza? Heard of him? Baruch Spinoza, he's my favorite philosopher. And he talks about the emotions. It says calls it the evil emotions, and talks about them. And so, I don't believe that anyone else can save us from our emotions, and it's kind of scary when we realize it.
None but ourselves.
No one else can do it. No pills. No, even a therapist. Therapists help, but it doesn't save. Therapist can help a person save himself. But a person's got to be able to save himself from his evil emotions, And that
So,
means that we're all kings. We're all Mashiach. You know?
well, everyone has to be their own Mashiach.
Yes. Rabbi Shternbach. Put it in the books. Give me that Askama.
At the same time, I guess the one that makes it themselves the most their own Mashiach, that becomes the real Mashiach. Mashiach of God.
Nah, man, there's no such like I don't believe in such a concept as like there's like gonna be one person. I think that I think that the Gemara that says the Gemara what? I don't know that concept, but about Mashiach, the Gemara says that BK Shekadosh Baruch Hu Lasos Cheskiyahu Mashiach the San Cherev Gogu Magog. Elo what? Lo Amar Shira. Thank you, Hashem. Yeah, it's a very beautiful chill, yo, and we got it. We got the entire thing on record. You're gonna be famous, bro. You're gonna be famous. What are you gonna do with your fame? How are you gonna use it? Your influence. How are you gonna use it? You're on my show now. How are you gonna use it? Yeah, let's say a little Haredi kid comes up to you in the street. He's like, "Yo, I saw you on this podcast. I saw you on this podcast, and I want to ask you a question." What do? You say, "Shal b'ni shal." You say, "Ask my son."
This guy that tried to upset him,
Yeah.
and he came asking him.
And he's like, "Oh, why are their feet so flat?" Pretty racist, Gemara. Why are their eyes so small? Yo, what is the deal with this Gemara?
Well, that's exactly how it allowed the nothing to chill to realize wrong with it.
Yeah, he'll
He's
like, he's like, "Yo, this guy's
he's trying
racist."
to piss me off.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not good.
And he was fine. And he dragged him out of the mikvah, which I think was very important, right? A lot of people could be like, "Yo, I'm trying to do a mikvah now. I'm trying to do like my avodas Hashem," and like they can get bogged down in the seriousness of like the kiyum ha-mitzvah and the talich ha-taira, and they could like lash out, you know. I could be doing nothing, and if like some guy just like rolls up on me and like knocks on the door, I can be like, "Yo, like, bro." The truth is, I only get mad when I'm in bed. People knock on the door at 7:30 in the morning. Ah! So it's just yelling outside, but you know, it's a process. But anyways, I can lose my shit sometimes from way less than what Hillel endured. That guy calling him out of the mikvah, asking him all these racist questions. Hillel Azaged is a hero of the super chill. Can I sing you a song to end this podcast? Can I sing you a song? The story to every child is told. Hillel so broken and old. He earned but a penny a day. Half he used to pay the watchman who stood at the gate of the base measures, making sure everyone paid. One day, even that small amount Hillel couldn't earn. He said, "Sorry, you cannot come inside and learn." He climbed up on top of the skylight. It was Erev Shabbos at twilight. A heavy snow began to fall, but Hillel did not notice at all. inside the learning of Torah. At Eish Levana, Eish Chaira, each word so precious to know. In the morning they discovered his frozen body covered in 3 amas of snow. The ice had frozen his every limb. Quickly they brought him in. Slowly he was warmed by the fire, but his story continues to inspire. A love that cannot be contained, for so many generations sustained. Clearly, Hashem, you can see. Ki chaylas ahavani, ahai, ahava, rabba, ahavta bavavanu, ahai, ashreinu, ashreinu, matayv chelkeveinu. Much love to Rabbi Ephraim Waxman and the Kehillah Kadesh of Muncie. Much love to my Muncie cousins, especially. No, I start not naming names. You know who you are. No, really, I love everybody. You know, bad ending to the shir, right? It's like calling out my cousins. Listen, we're gonna do with that song. What do you think about that song, Rabbi?
That's one one. I would love to. I want a copy of this.
Of the song? Oh, this video. Yeah, I'm gonna put it up on YouTube.
So there's so much heart and soul to this song.
Oh, that song, yeah.
Thank you.
Of course, brother, Rabbi Ephraim Waxman.
I know it's not awesome to talk to someone.
What?
It's funny about son-in-law.
Son-in-law of your great uncle. Well, I drove Ephraim Waxman to Meyer once. Yeah, and I almost got into an accident. Worst driver. And then they put me in a tank.
Very musical. Whole family.
What?
Whole family is very good musical.
Yeah, what do you play?
That family.
Oh, the Waxman. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, yo, I got to,
You spend time in Muncie?
I spent some time in Muncie. Oh, I got other homies in Muncie. Not only do I have like the ultimate homies in Muncie, like the Muncie cousins, you know. But I have friends in Muncie. The guy who runs Nanach Nation, Bernie. You know Bernie? Yo, I gotta hit up Bernie because we gotta. Like, it's Uman is happening this year. You coming, Uman? Ezrat Hashem, me too. There's no way that I'm missing Uman this year. We're gonna figure it out, even if that means taking a private jet. And anyone who wants in on that hustle, what?
I want in.
You want in? All right, we're
If I'm
gonna.
not gone by then, I want in.
If you're not gone, what do you mean?
If I haven't found a way to Uman by then.
Oh, if I'm not gone by then, okay. All right, yo, if there's any rich person who wants to sponsor a private jet for Yeshivas Geulas Shaul, we're gonna
Make it.
we're gonna raise up Uman. We're gonna have an amazing chill. It's gonna be incredibly special. And so if there's anyone watching this still after like a million hours, and they're like they're like, yo, I can hustle a private jet. We're interested in doing something epic. So if you're epic, I don't know, hit us up. And anyone who's epic, hit us up. What does it mean to be epic? What does it mean to be epic? It means that you're living your life to do important things. Stories that people will tell. Because like
Creative,
you're doing like
making something, you're creating something.
either you're creating something or you're starting a movement or you're being part of a movement or you're just living for something. You know, we need to be living for something. We have finite time in this world. Grandson, don't forget, life is finite, but it's a blessing if it helps you live your time right. Moshe Friedman. Shout out to Moshe Friedman in London. Much love. Shout out to everyone in the world. We out. Piggity peas. Much love. Gesunte Tracht. Healthy thinking. Huh? I just came up with that on the spot. On the spot.